Hey there. Today's episode is an edit of the live that happened on the last Saturday. So you can watch the entire live if you prefer. There's the next episode into it as well. But if you like the edited versions, then there you go. So here we should add a way to store the Pokemons in the data. So let's create just a model for a captured Pokemon. So let's name it, wait, it's gonna be named data team Pokemon, and that will be the model. So what? Actually extend resource. That's important for saving again. If you want to have saves, if you want to use the resources to save, it's best to extend resources always, of course. So here we will create a data team Pokemon. So that will be the template for a Pokemon in the list. So at the moment, we don't have any XP experience and level thing happening. So all I'm gonna do is have the idea. That's important. But at the moment, we'll just keep the ID and see how this is going. So here we're gonna export as well if we want to save later on. And I'm gonna create a new list. Why is it gonna be a list? Let's make it a dictionary. Yes. So it's gonna be team Pokemons. So what we're gonna do now, we will add a new thing to the capture state, so that when the capture is done, the Pokemon is added to the list. Oh, there's a... But what we do want is first, before anything, we need to keep track of the Pokemon, which is on the screen. At the moment, we just have a texture, but we don't have the current ID of the Pokemon. So let's create a variable for the current Pokemon ID. That's going to be a string. And when we generate a Pokemon, we generate Pokemon state. There. Once we have it, where do we get the ID? There. So here, we're going to add master.current Pokemon ID equal encounter, yep, dot Pokemon ID. So this way, we should be able to know which Pokemon we are facing. And that will last until it is changed. So in capture, right there, we should be able to add something. Well, actually, we will create a handler right now, because otherwise it will be annoying to make. So let's have a gray node, which is going to be capture handler. Well, let's go with capture manager at the moment, and create a script, of course. So let's create a capture folder. And in there, we want to, oh, actually, I created entire scenes. Well, it's okay. We'll save the branch as a scene. like this. Where is it? Managers, capture. And we can add a script to it. Yes, easy. So extend nodes, of course, and class name, that's a manager capture. Since we're making a manager, I'm going to create a singleton here. So we do want to have a signal, which is going to be, let's go with new Pokemon captured. And maybe we want to make a signal Pokemon captured. But this way, we now have a global way to notify everyone that we code something. I'm going to make a function which is going to be capture Pokemon. And I will take the ID as a parameter. And what I will do basically is check if this Pokemon exists in our data dictionary. So this way, we actually know whether we do want to increase the amount of capture counter or if we want to create a new entry, right? So I'm going to create a capture counter in there. Maybe capture counter? Yes. It's going to be an int in our capture manager. Yeah. So we have the Pokemon ID that we did capture. Can we check if an entry exists in the dictionary? So if we make something like if game.ref data dot team Pokemons, actually not team Pokemons, I will rename it. We want to get our captured Pokemon, and if the entry ID exists, can we do that? So if there is an entry, what we're going to do is game.ref data dot captured and ID. We do, let's type it. So it's data captured Pokemon. And we want to, oh, by the way, it didn't zoom on this series. It's going to be better now to read for viewers. So we want to increase the capture counter by 1. And if not, we actually want to create a new entry. So here I want to create a new entry for captures Pokemon. So, oh yes, I need to type it again if I want my autocomplete. Just get a data captured Pokemon dot new. And there's no init in my thing. Lazy way idea. And capture counter equal 1. So anyway, here, what we want to do is to emit the new signal, which is Pokemon captured, of course. That's the whole point of making a manager. And here we do want Pokemon.captured, new Pokemon.captured to be emitted. All right. So from there, I should be able to call on this method from there. So we do have a 100% chance to capture at the moment. That's very okay. So we want to capture a Pokemon, and there we want to add the master dot current Pokemon ID. No. Do we have master? We don't even have master. Where was it? Review master? Probably. I know. Current Pokemon idea. It's probably okay. So now we should maybe be able to just try this and see if we should be able to check on the data object while the game is running. So if I go in the remote, I go in my game, there I have data, and I have a dictionary here. Okay, so at the moment the dictionary is size 0, so I should be able to grab this, capture the first thing that's coming in, and the game explodes. Invalid index? Well, yeah, that's kind of the point. Maybe dictionaries do have a method to know if something exists. What do we have? Find key? Or this? That's actually better. Has. So actually I do have to use the has method. So let's see, where's my script? Capture manager. So if game ref dot blah blah blah. And here I should call on has. Like this. And here, well, okay, so I do need to add a constructor. So here we're gonna have ID as a string and capture control. Well, I already know that this is gonna be very long. So I'm gonna add this way of typing it. So here we want to have the idea, string, and capture counter, which is an int. And I'm just gonna prefix everything with an underscore. But this is why the database video was not me coding, because those kind of things are very long and not so fun. Is then data capture Pokemon.new, and there we want to have ID and 1. You like it better? Yes, all right. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. So now we should be good. Let's try again. So Bulbasaur is gone, which is a good thing. So we want to check our data object in there. Can you please show me? I just want the game object. Yes. So we have data, and the dictionary is size 0. Well, anyway, let's add something to show in the game. Right there, the list of Pokemons. Because actually, maybe it's updating, but it would be weird that the debugger doesn't see it. So we do want to grab the user interface, and we're going to create actually a second margin container, I guess. Which is going to be on the right side. And how wide is it? 320. So let's go with 320. that's going to be the Pokemon. Well, it's going to be Pokemon list. And we want a vertical box. Okay. And in there, we actually need to create something that will display Pokemon. So at the moment, let's keep it simple. Let's just have a control node. Well, I created a margin, but didn't give it an actual margin. So let's do that right away. 16 or 32? Can't remember. So you're gonna be, at the moment, you're gonna be 80 pixel. I have wide in mind, but it's definitely not wide. Tall? Anyway. And in there, I'm gonna add a label. Yeah, I'm just gonna display the name at the moment. So, and I will add as well the capture counts. So that's gonna be the Pokemon list component. So I'm gonna say this as its own node. Or is it? Right there. And I want it, well, it's gonna be a name view, and I will create a component folder, and right in there, we're gonna have it's going to be Pokemon list item. Actually, Pokemon list component look good. It's the name of the node anyway. So I'm gonna delete this. So anyway, at the moment I will have this label unique. And what I'm gonna do is have a, well, I will have a variable which is the Pokemon ID. So that's gonna be a string. Okay, I'm gonna use this one. And there, I'm gonna have the update label method. And what we want to do basically is just simply change the name of the Pokemon, change the label to display the name of the Pokemon. Let's go with that. So we're going to create a new text value. And what we're going to do is have game, well, no, we have databases. So how do we access the databases? DB Pokémons, .ref, .dictionary of Pokemon ID. That seems right. So that's going to be a DB Pokemon. Now I think I remember well. That's going to be a DB Pokemon. And we're going to grab the name. So it should have, yeah, name. And now we want to add this to the text. Like this. Then I'm going to add just a little spacing. There's going to be space and parenthesis. And I will add the capture count. Game.ref.data that captures Pokemon. And again, Pokemon ID. It's weird they don't suggest me to autocomplete here. Capture Pokemon this time. Data capture Pokemon. And here we should have capture counter. Yep. Nope. Yep. Let's just string this. Sure. Well, that's just at the end of it. So now we will just finish by adding the closing parenthesis. Yep. And we do want to get node. Well, do we need to type this? Get node. I'm going to use the unique name as label and assign the text to it. Yep. We're going to assign the text. So now what we need to do basically is that when this item is created, we want to connect this to the signals that we have created. So let's see. We're going to have this donk, this ready function. And what we're going to do is create this update label thing, but I actually want to update my signal. By adding an argument to it. So we do have the ID of the Pokemon in the signal. So we do check if the ID is the ID of the label. I mean, you'll get what I mean. And it's going to be ID string. And there we're going to go with if ID is equal to Pokemon ID, then I want to update the label. Otherwise, I want to do nothing. And right there, what we're going to do is get the manager capture, get the ref, and get the capture Pokemon. And we want to connect it. Well, no, absolutely not. Pokemon captured, was it? Yes, Pokemon captured. And we want to connect that to the Pokemon captured. So we need to add an argument right there. Of course, when we have this Pokemon captured.emit, we want to add the ID there. And also here we need the new Pokemon captured signal. It's weird it's not there. But anyway. Okay. So, yeah. Now we have a very basic component. So what I'm going to do is in the user interface right there, I'm going to create a script which is going to be Pokemon list. I actually, I don't need to name it at the moment. So what we want to do is to basically create children whenever we capture a new Pokemon. So what we're gonna do is create a method to generate a new child. That will be generate, well, let's create Pokemon list item. If we want to create it, we might need the ID of the Pokemon in there. So that here we can have this export variable, which is going to be a packed list item. And what we're going to do is node type, what is the type of the node? Pokemon list item. Okay. So we have a Pokemon list item, which is going to be equal to packed list item dot instantiate, and that will be as Pokemon list item. Then what we want to do is have the node dot Pokemon ID equal to the ID of the create Pokemon list item here. And everything else should fall into place. So we're going to go with just add child actually. We're just going to add node like this. Maybe I want to check that in there. Yeah, I'm just going to update the label once, just to be sure. Once we create it, and we update the label. Right there. Let's have this Pokemon list margin and have this as Pokemon list. This. So now we need to plug on the create new Pokemon signal actually. So on new Pokemon captured, and we do need the ID, of course. And what we're going to do is just create Pokemon with that ID. Right. 1, 2, 3. And right there in the ready method, what we do want to do is to connect to signals. So it's going to be manager capture dot ref dot new Pokemon capture. We want to connect that to our new method. Seems okay. Yeah, I did so many things that I have no idea how it could pretty much break now. I don't know, actually. Nothing should happen at the moment, but at the moment we try capturing things. So we have the breakpoint. Yeah, we captured this, and the ID. What is the current ID? It's 0001. So we captured the Bulbasaur. Okay, let's move on. So we created a new entry. Okay. So here, yes, Ivysaur 2. But why is label here? And there? Oh, what the hell? Okay, very good. Yes, brain is going fast, but sometimes not the best fast. Okay, right. So we have a Bulbasaur. We should have 2 now. And we should have a new entry being Venusaur. Okay. So eventually what we could do is add, well, there's many things we can do actually. Maybe we can try to add just a little sprite of the Pokemon. in the list, so it's a little bit prettier. So what I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna change the way I have stored the Pokemon in a database, because I registered the how is it named? The path of the texture, and I'm pretty sure it's a bad idea actually. So where do I have my there? So right there, I'm just gonna change this to texture 2D. Right, my database right there, and I think you have to load just to load it like this. Yeah. So right there, I should now need to go in the main view and just change how we get the textures here. Yeah, here we just want to get texture equal to texture, like this. Do you like it? Oh yes, of course. Is it master texture? No. Where is texture? Oh, it's right there. The texture 2D, and right there, texture 2D should be equal to texture. That's a lot of texture saying. It's not an easy word actually. Wait, the hell? Okay, sounds good. Can I stop the game? Yes, looks like it's working. So here we have our little Pokemon thing. I'm just gonna give it a whites, maybe minus maybe 2. So how can I make this? I could have it a little bit bigger. Well, no, I want the sprite on the left. So what I'm gonna do is create a margin. That's not a margin. I will create a margin in there, which is gonna take the full space and have a left and right. Let's have both sides. And in the margin, the usual, oh, H box this time. So I'm gonna have the H box label as well as a texture. Oh, texture rect. That seems good. So I will have the texture rect on the right, the left. The label now, as for the layout, you will take the entire space and you will be actually on the right. And the texture rate here, I need to fit, let's fit height, and that's gonna be, let's go with 32 at the moment, and I will change it if needed. So we have the texture, let's rename it texture, make it unique, and right there, I'm gonna create a initialize texture method. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That's gonna be initialize texture, And we're gonna grab the texture from the database. Sounds good. No, it's DB Pokémons. Ref, got direct. Oh, T has to be pronounced well. Pokemon ID. I don't know why they absolutely refuse to give me the Pokemon ID auto-completion here. So that's going to be as DB Pokemon. And dot texture. Okay. That's going to be texture 2D equal to that. 4 warnings. Okay, I'll check that later on. And then what we want to do is to basically get node. And I want to grab my unique texture as texture rect and have its texture again for the 100 time equal to 101 texture. Good. Okay, warnings. Let's go. Unsafe cast, ignore, ignore, ignore. So now we want to initialize texture right there. Okay, let's go. Let's capture this Bulbasaur. Doesn't work. So maybe the texture is here, but the size is a little bit weird. Probably it's the sizing. Let's see. Let's have it like this. I'm so not used to work with those things. It's there, but a little bit squished. So let's feed white instead and have it 64. Well, let's capture it. It's going to be better. It's squished again. Let's get it to 32 with feed white. Maybe there's like a maximum in there. I'm not sure what's happening. Oh! That's a good one. I screamed. Maybe I. Okay, let's try the Ivysaur. Yeah, they're better. Eventually, I'm gonna add a little rect in there. A reference rect, which is gonna be white. How do I do white? Where is the, yes. Yes, this is how you do white. And like this. That's the laziest way to have a rectangle. Ooh. Yep. All right. It's gonna be better this time. But actually, I have the NVIDIA broadcast suppressing many noises. Sometimes when I laugh or cough, that kind of things, it ends up kind of weird. Okay, so we do have the Pokemon list going on. That's actually so we did complete the entire roadmap that we wanted to do. Now back. So I did complete the editing of the episode, and actually there's no ending to it because it just goes on with the stream. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the Pokemon listing. After this, we went into making an experience system so that each Pokemon has its own level. So that will be in the next episode. So yeah, it's definitely a messy episode because of um, it being, streamed and then edited afterward. I guess it would have been better to just have had a kind of an episode like the one on database would have been probably better than trying to edit this. So I don't know what I'm going to do with the next one. All you have to know is that in the next episode, it's about experience and Pokemon levels. At the moment, there's no attack from individual Pokemons. So yeah, that will come later on. So anyway, if you want to see the entire process, because I did cut a lot of things from this episode, it's on the live, which you can find either somewhere up or in the description. And yeah, I guess that's it for today. I hope you like this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.